So there's something to be said about, you know what, certain women that feel certain things about certain people and everything. And I said, it's all spiritual. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, that was a spiritual connection. And he acting like, don't I know it, boo? I said, yeah, she checking up on him. And then I don't like her checking up on me and everything and all this other stuff. And you know what? Some of y'all older women, y'all need younger people because these older men, shoot, they woe out because they wear themselves out way before they supposed to be wearing themselves out. And a lot of the older men ain't gonna tell younger men and direct them in a positive way. And he like, yeah, I don't put that everywhere. And grandma said, that's what he know too. I said, mama, stop checking up on me and help me do this. I said, yeah, he fine. But the rest of them mother pluckers out here, shoot, they pee look like, what's going on? I said, I don't want my pee to start looking funny like this. I said, yeah, you got to go to the doctor. And that's what a lot of these Negroes that's old out here in these streets. And even that Greyhound bus driver is looking like, what up, G? I said, I really want to say, what's up? And you got your son with you too? I said, that's her son. And I said, can't you tell? I said, this nigga has been loved all his life. And you can't tell her shit about her kids. Ain't that the truth? I said, yeah. But he ain't, you know what, grimy than a mother plucker. And you know what? You got to allow grimy to open up the doors to your Serenity Castle. And I said, shit, not today, tomorrow, and next week, and forevermore. I said, y'all ain't gonna be splitting me open, nigga, but whatever y'all been doing together, shit, that's on y'all. And that one nigga said, damn, she ain't tell me about that, but she told that other nigga. And I said, you know what? Men are some gossiping ass motherfuckers, nigga. And y'all really can sit around and create nothing. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, shit, I'd rather sit around my goddamn mama and create everything. I say, ain't that the truth? But my middle son and my oldest son, they like, shit, we went too far. Now we got to manifest something different. Because they manifested all this. See? And they did it together. And I said, yeah, now what? I said, this should not even be in none of y'all's life. And they know that too. And that one nigga said, how many hours? Yeah. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, shoot, we need that too. Run that, boo. And I said, yeah. But he will have to do this and do that.